Hi again, everyone. So yeah, I'm going to do a demo of our retirement modeler. So this is a really good tool available on the Civil Service Pension Scheme website, and that's how I'm going to show it to you. Although actually the easiest way for you to access this is through the pension portal, because if you use it via the pension portal, then all of these boxes are pre-populated and the input that you actually need to make is very, very small. So it's much easier to do it that way. But during the live session, I'm going to show you the longhand way, which is available to you if you're not yet registered on the pension portal. So this uses the information from your annual benefit statement and then projects what your pension benefits might look like in the future. So it's a really helpful tool for your retirement planning, so you can see what your pension benefits might look like at various different retirement ages. So it's worth noting that the modeler hasn't yet been updated to take into account the changes that are coming in with effect from the 2015 Remedy programme. We are working on an updated retirement modeler or remedy modeler that will be in place to help members make those decisions when the time comes. There's lots of work going on in the background at the moment to get that ready and making sure it's nice and accurate and available for members to use. So it's not there yet, but the retirement modeler is available for you still to use. So let's have a little look at what it asks for you. So to use the longhand version, you'll need a copy of your annual benefit statement, and you need to have an idea of the age that you're planning to retire, but you can play around with that data as part of the session, as part of using it. Now it does ask you to check your eligibility here and you get a pop-up box. There are some very specific scenarios that the modeler can't work with. So when you're using this yourself, do just make sure that you check on that and make sure you don't fall victim to one of those scenarios where the modeler might not give you an accurate picture of your pension benefits. I'm going to do a straightforward example, so we don't need to look at that just now. So it asks you to input your information. So it asks what year of your annual benefit statement are you using? Obviously, the most recent one that you have is what you want to use. So this modeler will be updated in the coming months in preparation for 2022 benefit statements being published. But for now, we're using 2021 as that's the most recent. It asks for you to input your date of birth. So let me put someone in who was born in, let's say, 1965. And it then asks you to input your pensionable earnings. So what are your pensionable earnings? Now you'll find that information on your annual benefit statement. Like I say, if you use this via the pension portal, you don't need to worry about this because all of that information is pulled through automatically for you. So you can find that information, and if you've got any doubt, we have these little eyes next to all of our boxes, which shows you where on your benefit statement you can find the information. So that's quite useful. It'll be similar to your salary, but you can use those boxes to just verify where it would be. So let me put in that we've got a member with pensionable earnings of £25,000. It then asks what scheme are they currently in. So all members are now in Alpha. And it asks for gender. So I'm going to just say male for this example. And then it asks for the value of your Alpha pension. So you'll find that on your annual benefit statement. So let's say this member has £4,000 of pension so far in the Alpha scheme. It then asks if you're buying EPA, which is an option in Alpha to pay extra towards your pension to reduce your Alpha pension age. Presumably you'd know if you'd made that choice, yes or no. So I'm going to say no. And it also asks if you're buying any added pension or have bought any added pension. So if you, again, you're going to be paying extra contributions from your salary if you've decided to do that. So you would know if you'd made that choice. So let's just say no. It then asks, were you previously a member of Classic, Classic Plus, Premium or Nuvos? Please confirm this here. So let's say that this individual was a member of Classic. And then we need to input the pension amounts there as well. So let's say they had a Classic pension of £10,000 per year. And have they got any added pension for Classic? We'll say no. And it then asks, what date are you thinking of retiring? So the modeler generally will default to age 65. So I'm just going to stick with that for now. But obviously, if you've got a specific date in mind, then you can input that information there. That's no problem. And at the bottom, there's a box to tick to agree to the terms and conditions of the modeler. I'm not going to look at them today, but do take time to have a quick look at those terms and conditions. I'm sure there's many times that you visit things online and you tick a terms and conditions box without reading it. It's not, 600 pages long. It's just a short note, just worthwhile having a little look so you understand the results that you're going to get back. And then says calculate my estimate. So it then shows us the results that we've got. So this member retiring at age 65 with their benefits from both Classic and Alpha will have a pension at retirement of £18,134 and their standard lump sum from Classic of £30,000, which is 3 times their Classic pension. And if we look to these green boxes on the right hand side, it breaks down which bit comes from the Classic scheme. That's 10,000, and from Alpha it shows us there that's 8,134. And we look at the lump sum, it's all from Classic, the £30,000 standard from Classic. So looking at those green boxes there is useful, so you can see which scheme those pension benefits come from, as that means if you're a dual member and you're deciding whether you just want to take one set of pension benefits and not the other, then you can see those numbers there on the right hand side. And what we've got on the modeler here are these 2 slider bars. The first one is for retirement age, and the second one is for lump sum. So you can really play around with these and see what's available. So it's default to age 65, but I might want to decide, actually, let's retire early. So I'm going to bring that down to the age of 59. And that's actually the age that I'm planning to retire. It's a long way off, but I'm already planning for it. And that changes our figures. So that then gives us a pension of 13,233 with a cash lump sum of 29,340. So that takes into account the fact that this member is retiring early from both Classic and Alpha, and the reductions have been applied to both sets of pension benefits. So it's a really accurate picture of what your pension benefits might look like at that particular age. So that's at 59. Equally, you might be thinking about retiring later. This modeler goes all the way up to age 75. You'd like to see what that would do to your pension benefits. Working in Alpha at 75 gives a whopping 23,432 from Alpha, on top of the £10,000 in Classic as well. So you can really play around with the different retirement ages and see what difference that makes. We've got this button here to add to comparison. And what that does is it creates a table at the bottom of different retirement ages, so you can compare what your pension benefits will look like at different retirement ages. You are able to print that and keep hold of it if it's something you'd like to come back to. The other thing we've got is the slider bar for the lump sum. So let me change this back to age 65. So we've got those original figures, but what if I wanted to take 100% of the maximum tax-free lump sum available to me? So I slide that bar, and that then gives a pension figure of 13,264. But the cash lump sum goes to 88,429. You can see what those figures look like. So this modeler works with all of the restrictions that are in place in terms of the maximum tax-free lump sum that you're allowed to take in line with HMRC limits, applies all the reductions or enhancements that would be applied to your pension benefits for taking them at different ages. So it's a really good tool to help you with your retirement planning. You look at those figures we looked at in the presentation of what's expected to be able to live the various different lifestyles in retirement. How does your modeler scenario fit in with what of those expectations are? How is that going to work for you? And does that then maybe change when you would like to take your pension benefits? So if you haven't used it before, it's a fantastic tool, say, to help with your retirement planning, however far away it might be, whether it's 6 months or 16 years into the future. Well worth taking some time out to have a play around with the retirement modeler and see what your future pension benefits would look like. And it does give you a really accurate projection. So as long as the information that's contained within your annual benefit statement is correct, then the model is going to give you a really accurate prediction of what your pension benefits should be at retirement. Obviously, we can't predict how your salary and things like that are going to change in the future. That's unknown. But other than that, we do absolutely give you a really accurate projection. So hopefully that's helpful and helps you understand a little bit more about how the retirement modeler can work.